At the end of this module, you will be able to identify non-contact forces, list the examples of non-contact forces, define gravity, define electrostatic force, and to define magnetic force. Non-contact forces and types. A non-contact force is any force applied to an object by another body without any contact. Examples: magnetic force, gravitational force, and electrostatic force. A magnet attracts things made of iron. So, if we bring a magnet near iron nails or pins, the magnet pulls them towards it. Since the iron nails and pins move towards the magnet, it means that magnet exerts a force on them. The force exerted by a magnet is called magnetic force. The magnetic force acts even from a distance. The magnet exerts a magnetic force on objects made of iron, steel, nickel, and cobalt. It does not exert a force on objects made of copper, wood, or glass. When we bring a magnet slowly near some iron pins, then at a certain small distance, the iron pins suddenly jump towards the magnet and stick to it. Since a magnet can exert its magnetic force on iron objects from a distance, therefore, magnetic force is a non-contact force. Children, if we drop a stone from some height, it falls down towards the earth. What is the reason? Yes, this is because the earth exerts a gravitational force of attraction on the stone and pulls it down. Newton said that every object in this universe pulls every other object with a certain force. The pull exerted by objects possessing mass is called gravitational force. The gravitational force between two objects is a force of attraction, and it acts even if two objects are not connected by any means. It is the gravitational force between the Sun and the Earth which holds the Earth in its orbit around the Sun. Force with which Earth pulls every object towards itself is called gravitational force. For example, ball thrown up returns back to Earth due to gravitational force. The force with which the earth pulls the objects towards it is called the force of gravity or just gravity. Gravity is a natural force of attraction. We are pulled to the earth by the force of gravity. For example, when a child falls from a tree, it is the force of gravity which brings the child down to earth. Similarly, when a diver dives into a swimming pool, it is the force of gravity which brings him down. The force of gravity acts on all objects. The force of gravity causes all objects to fall towards the earth. Now listen, children, look at here. Have you ever experienced so? What is the reason? Yes, this is due to electrostatic force. The force exerted by an electrically charged object is called electrostatic force. An electrically charged object can exert an electrostatic force on an uncharged object. For example, a plastic comb or plastic pen, which is electrically charged by rubbing in dry hair, exerts an electrostatic force on uncharged tiny pieces of paper and attracts them. The movement of tiny pieces of paper is due to the electrostatic force exerted by electric charges acquired by the comb on rubbing hair. The electrostatic force can be exerted a charged object. The electrostatic force can be exerted by a charged object on another object from a distance, even when they are not in touch with each other. So, electrostatic force is an example of non contact force. In this module, we have learned that non contact forces are the forces experienced by bodies even if they are not in a physical contact with each other. Non contact forces are of three types: magnetic force, electrostatic force, and gravitational force. Magnetic force means force exerted by a magnet. Electrostatic force means force exerted by a charged body on another charged body. Then gravitational force means attractive force exerted between two objects.